Hey guys, another review. This one on this Marbles round sharpening stone. It's a dual grit. Picked this up, I think it was $2.99 at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. It appears to be the only place that sells it. Now a lot of places sell the Marbles version Puck sharpener, but I'm not seeing anyone else carrying this little dual grit round one. So it was like $2.99. I added it onto my order. As you can see, a lot of Smoky Mountain stuff getting reviewed here over the last couple of days, and wanted to share this thing. Pretty neat. Number one, you can see it's smaller than the Puck, your traditional Puck. I think this one's a Lansky maybe, but there's many people who make these Pucks. But you'll notice that the cutting surface, the flat surface, is actually the same size. So this Puck and this little Marbles actually have the same amount of flat usable surface. Now of course the advantage goes to the Puck in that you can hold it in a way that keeps your fingers away from that edge, versus this, you know, you have to get a little closer to the business to use this sucker. So I thought that was interesting because it gives you a nice compromise. If you want the round sharpening stone but without all that bulk and weight, this is a nice alternative. Plus, guess what, guys? With a little bit of coaxing, it fits into an Altoids tin. So you can very easily add this to one of your Altoids sharpening kits, like we did a video on last week or so. The other plus, when it comes to this little thing, is the grits. The orange is 800, the gray is 500. Traditionally, these Pucks, whether they're made by Lansky or whomever, are traditionally like 100, 200 grit. You can see this one's pretty well glazed up. I actually have to do some work on this because it's I used it. I keep this one out in the garage for the axes, so I tend to use it dry a lot. So you can see it got really glazed over. But they tend to be 100 grit on the coarse side and like 180 or 200 on the coarse or on the fine side or the medium side or whatever it is they claim is their side. So these things actually are very, very coarse. They're not good for any fine sharpening at all. This sucker, 500, 800, is fantastic. This is actually perfect for touching up a knife. Not resetting a very damaged edge, but just doing that touch up. And judging by the feel of the material, I believe it's aluminum oxide as well, which means this would be an India stone. Whereas I believe these Lanskys are silicone carbide. Okay, what's the difference, Bushcraft? Well, your silicone carbide are harder, which is good if you're sharpening stainless steel or something like that. But they don't come up into the higher grits. So they're very good for resetting a rough edge. They're very good for that initial sharpening, but they do tend to leave a very jagged edge. Not very well refined, and you know, they need further work. The India stones, which are aluminum oxide, they're not as fast cutting, even though, you know, grit for grit, they're not as fast cutting because the aluminum oxide is softer, but they're available in the higher grit. So in this case, you have 500 and 800, which an 800 grit stone, fine India stone, will put a pretty good, sharp, nice polished edge onto a knife. When you get up into the 800 grit territory, you do tend to start doing a little more polishing as far as opposed to sharpening. So this is a really cool thing in that, yeah, if you want to sharpen your axe, use this bad boy. You know, it's going to put that good edge on it, and then you can polish up the edge later with whatever you choose to. But you know what, if you're out in the field, maybe doing a little bushcraft work, and you just want a small little something, so you can put a really good refined edge on one of your tools, this really isn't too shabby. You know, this is something that's small, like I said, it fits in your pocket, it fits into it fits into the Altoids tin, and using it, you know, yeah, it's a little more difficult to use because you don't have that clearance with the bigger, thicker Pucks. You know, it's quite a bit of difference in width here, which I don't think I showed you. You can see there's a pretty big, so if you're setting this flat on something, trying to get a knife over that, pull this out, a couple of these TL29s, sharpening isn't going to happen because your handle's going to be in the way. So you're going to have to set this either on like the edge of a table or something like that to get some sharpening done. Now, if you're out in the woods, of course, you could very easily just set this onto a small flat rock or something like that, and then use this as it is, as flat. Or you can also rub it onto. I mean, I'm a little more leery using this as a stone on metal. I would rather use it like a bench stone, but who knows? All I've done with it so far is just a little sharpening around the house. You can see it's a little dirtied up already from more of this side. I use the 800 side. I only took a couple swipes on that because I was really interested to see more what the 800 side could do, and it does. It puts a pretty good edge on things so far. It's definitely not a joke. So it's a great option, guys. Small, compact, lightweight. It's $3. You could buy 5 or 6 of these, throw them in your bags, and you have a good option for a sharpening stone that brings you up to a higher grit than these silicone carbide pucks that we all tend to have. So just wanted to share.